And that is a part of the creative process, is going with what feels good. Yeah. Thank you.
Fire. Remember that song? That was fire.
Yeah. This is Friends with Benefits, where I feature my amazing friends and family. I learned so much in my relationships, and that is a big reason why I keep building my mental strength. So in this episode, the one and only Moana Masani is here. Woo. Mahalo, sis, for coming.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, sis, so much for having me on here.
Moana and I have been chosen sisters and best friends since 7th grade, when she got me out of detention by saying that it was her watch that was ringing when it was really my phone. So ever since then, she's had my back. Sis, you always inspire me with how big your dreams are. And when we were growing up, I noticed that like I would limit my dreams based on what I thought I could do. But I feel like you had no limit to the dreams that you would think up in your head, like being on MTV and stuff, you know? Like, what would you say is your secret in believing in yourself without limits?
That's a really good question. A bit of a backstory. Grew up in Waipahu on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. And as people that are, living on Oahu, you will know that Waipahu is kind of the ghetto. We got two things going for us, Taniokas and Highway Inn. Growing up from humble beginnings, I think if I would have there's so many secrets, I think, but if I had to talk to one secret, it would be to definitely have the right people around you. I think, you grow up thinking that you just want so many friends and you want people to like you, especially like in elementary school and high school. Friends are just everything. But I think something that I just naturally had growing up was just really being selective on who I hang out with and who I allow to share my hopes and my dreams. When I did meet people that, would be haters and say, what? You want to go to New York and do what? Work at MTV? Girl, you from Waipahu. Like, cut immediately,
Immediately to the left.
Immediately, there's the door. See ya. I don't know. I'm not sure how I got this trait, but I think that's something that brought us together. Everything I've told you, from wanting to be working for MTV, wanting to run my own businesses, all my ideas that I run past you, you always told me I could do it. Or I just really wanted to surround myself that I knew wanted the best for me. And really loved the authentic me. So if I shared my biggest dreams of going to New York, no matter how crappy my grades were, no matter, maybe I wasn't the best athlete, maybe I came from a family of addiction, the people that I had around me always believed that I could do it. So for anybody out there, really take a look at your circle of friends. Even it could be your own family, and really be selective and protect your energy and your dreams, and have people around you that are going to encourage you and believe in you.
So good, sis. And sis, I know that you have a question for me. So what is your question?
Yeah, so my question, like, a lot of people don't know this about you, and one of the things that I love about you is your creativity. Like, ever since we were kids, you were always crafty. You was always making blankets out of t-shirts. You always had some kind of project going on. And I love that about you. So my question is for you is, what is your creative process like? Like, talk me through that.
Ooh, okay. My first step of my process is always like, what's my intention or what's my outcome? Like, what's the goal? So if I'm making something for somebody, or if I'm making something for myself, or even if I'm making it as a gift, I either talk to the person and ask them like what's important to them. Like, what do they really want out of this quilt? What's the intention of it? And then if I'm making it as a gift, I think about it, but just think about it of them. Like, what do I know them for? What stands out with me? Like, what symbols, what colors? And then, so I always have that thought process at first. Like, there's always the ideas. And I just kind of like feel it out. Like, one time I was in the fabric store and I was not feeling it. I was hot. I was hungry, I was annoyed, and I was like, I gotta get out of here because this is not good juju for my quilt that I'm about to make, you know? I just kind of go with that kind of like instinct or gut, like when it comes to that part. Like I know what I'm doing, I kind of have a plan, and I'm trying to find the pieces of my plan. And I feel like I kind of do that even like with my content creating. So like this is my chart I keep up on my thing, and this is like my content, can't see it unless I hold it in a certain way, but this is like my content calendar. So I have like what I want to post in like the order I want to post it in, and then you know on Instagram like it lines up a certain way when you post it, so there's like intentional, and like every part of my posts are intentional, from like the music is healing to friends with benefits to like going live on Wednesdays and words of wisdom. So those really help. It really is my guide and what helps me. And I already thought about the intention. So when I'm doing it, it's a good reminder to keep me on track, because creative brains, we go all over the place, you know? So it really helps with like keeping a structure if you already have kind of like a rough draft, what you want to do in your mind. And I feel like as I'm doing things in a creative process, the how kind of reveals itself. Like I kind of like taught myself like how to make the fabrics and sew them together in such a way that it would look the way I want it to look. And that was kind of like inspirational in the moment doing, because I'm doing it and taking action on it, that the how kind of like reveals and uncovers itself as I'm being creative. I know that this business adds so much value to people, and I would just love for you to share like what is your mission of your business and what do you do?
My business called Hina Healing. And really what Hina Healing is all about is it's really a lifestyle brand that celebrates Native Hawaiian culture, but also helps people embrace their spirituality.
Ooh.
And the two, I guess, avenues or the two ways that I'm doing that today is through crystals, obsessed with crystals, but also music. So, you know, I sell crystals. So go to my page, Hina Healing, HinaHealing, all lowercase, all one word, and keep an eye out for crystals that I sell. But also I mix. So, you know, little bit of a DJ, very new to mixing, but I enjoy it so much. And I call it me time music. So if you ever have 45 minutes to an hour that you just really want to dedicate to yourself, go and listen to me time music, and just, yeah, chill, relax, light up, whatever you want to do.
Like what's so special about Hina and what you do, sis, is that you will connect like what the crystals do and what their energy can be to in this way that local people get to understand like what it is, you know, what's it about, what's going to benefit me when I buy this, what's the vibes of the crystals. So
Yeah,
I absolutely love
and
that.
and just to add another thing, like that's exactly right. When I got into crystals, it was quite overwhelming. So if anyone's getting into crystals, like I'm really here for you, and I'd like to simplify that experience as much as I can. So keep an eye out for any videos. But to the other point around Hina is really there to celebrate Native Hawaiian culture. Because I live in Sydney, Australia currently. And I was doing a little bit of a presentation about who I am and where I come from. And most of the audience didn't even know Native Hawaiians as a race existed. So if people don't know that we Native Hawaiians don't exist, how you know, how can we have a voice? How can we make change? So for me, I want everyone in the entire world to, one, I want to see a world where there are no limiting beliefs. And I also want to see a world where they acknowledge indigenous cultures like Native Hawaiians. And I want to see a world where the stigma around, you know, spirituality is not your hippie and tie-dye, but people that are spiritual look just like you and me.
Yeah, so good. We need that. We need Hawaiians. We need our healing. We need our healing and connection. So
100%.
you're amazing, sis. You're a leader. You are. I love that you are sharing your gift with everybody else and helping them believe in themselves without limits too. So
Thank
we're
you. Thank you
amazing.
so much. Thank you so much, sis. And thank you so much to all the lemonades out there, lemon meringue pies, whatever you call them. Okay.